And once again, I want to say greetings to each and every one of you, Aquaba, and welcome. Welcome to another round of the Conscious Roster Report here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, here on livinginblack.com. My name is Keedy Owadu, aka the Conscious Roster. Weekday mornings, you and I get together live. We come at you from 9 a.m. Pacific Time. That's 12 noon Eastern Time, 5 p.m. GMT, and 8 p.m. East Africa Time. We get together with you and with you with culture, consciousness, historical perspectives, entertainment, economics, education, health, labor, law, politics, religion, family, conflict, future studies, Pan-African affairs, sustainable development, all areas of human interactivity and development. Today's date is Friday, the 21st of February, 2025 in the Western calendar. This corresponds to the year 6265 in the Kemetic calendar, to which we have realigned our cultural clock. Welcome to the seventh millennium. You have found your family in a peaceful place on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. Before we get into today's subject, today's topic, we are reverent. As we reach for the stars, we stand upon the shoulders of giants. And among the many giants that we of African heritage in the United States, as around the world, we stand upon the shoulders of the great El-Hajj Malik Al-Shabazz, Brother Omar Wale, Malcolm X. It was 60 years ago on this date that at the Audubon Ballroom in Harlem, New York, that this great prophet, this seer, this magical child, this child of destiny, Malcolm X, was assassinated in a conspiracy involving not only his own passionate organization that he had helped to build, the Nation of Islam, but orchestrated by the FBI, Central Intelligence Agency, with a strong cooperation and participation by the New York Police Department. Now that those facts have all come to surface, and that the killers of Malcolm X have all met their destiny, their fate with history, we acknowledge this brilliant light, this brilliant giant whose light continues to shine on our individual and collective intelligence. We move forward. Malcolm X lives through you and I. Let's get into today's topic. Now, I'm going to get a little technical today. And I do welcome your conversation, and I do see Nguvu joining us right off the top. And I'm going to get to your comments here. Let me introduce the program. Today, the theme is what zero-point energy is and why it won't work. Today on LIB Radio, since the dawn of human invention, there has been a search for a free energy source, the proverbial perpetual motion machine. Certain fundamental laws of thermodynamics preclude such a development, and principles such as friction will always block such a development. Still, with every generation, some claim to have made such a breakthrough. We need to understand the physics principles that make free energy, zero-point energy, and perpetual motion machines impossible with our current understanding of physics. I am writing the book of which this subject is included. The book is entitled Quantum Advancements, Spectacular Discoveries Along the journey. And let me see. Let me just get that title exactly like it's supposed to be. And this one is going to be a rather quick title. I am to a great degree using artificial intelligence to write it. Quantum advancements, spectacular discoveries along the magnificent journey. This by I Am Ka, the brother from the future. So I do hope that you find this to be a compelling, fascinating subject. I do find it to be compelling. This is intended to be on the course to what I call Wakanda, the Wakanda future. The Wakanda future. We remember, and we were very inspired by the movie Black Panther, which came out in February 2018, 7 years ago. Now we look to many of the ideas and concepts that were in that Afrofuturism movie script, and we asking the question, how can we get from where we are to where that one gave us a very powerful vision of where we could potentially be. It's going to be a wonderful, inciting journey. I believe that in my lifetime, we will see major breakthroughs that allow for that vision of a Wakanda future to become our real workable reality. And I am committing. I'm not the only one who's committing to get this work done. So therefore, today's broadcast is going to get heavy. We are going into physics. We are going into quantum physics. You will be introduced to a language that you are quite unfamiliar with. Trust me, been through that already this morning. But stick with it. There's no way you can lose by understanding these principles and stretching the boundaries of our brain. I had put together an image to promote today's program, and let me just briefly show you that image. How can I do this? Let me just push this up on the screen. I'm going to present, share screen, and what I'm going to share is this window, which is the promotion that I put up for today. Add that to the stage. And I'm just going to just a couple little explanations of what this one is. Again, 0 point energy, the search for free energy. I use this quote from Albert Einstein. 0 point energy is now dead as a doornail. And I also included in this, and you can see this photograph of Albert Einstein teaching at Lincoln University, Pennsylvania. This is a historical black college and university. This is the university from which Kwame Nkrumah and Nnamdi Azikiwe, the first president of the Republic of Nigeria, both attended Lincoln University, and Albert Einstein taught physics at the school. He wasn't a professor. This was a adjunct professor visit. And he stated that let me just get this real quickly. He did state that free energy is dead. So we got to start realizing, people, some of these things out here, your search for perpetual motion machine, the current buzz around the Zimbabwean Maxwell Chikumbutsu, it's not real. Now, today we're going to go into the science that shows why 0 point energy, from which this free energy stage would be extracted, is not feasible according to our current knowledge of the laws of physics. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's get in this conversation. Let's get this party started, okay? Here's what I've been writing today, and writing as well as gathering from artificial intelligence. Now, this book, to a great extent, will be written by artificial intelligence. I'm going to go through the entire book, do the best I can to translate it to my language and the language that I think my audience would best understand. But I warn you right now, and let me double check my numbers of how many people are watching this show. I warn you right now, this one is going to challenge your understanding and your knowledge. A couple of comments here from Nguvu as I go to get into the show. He says, Hotep, my brother, China and India are moving forward with thorium development. May be the energy wave of the future. And I was recently looking at thorium. I'm going to have to go back, pull that back up, and look at that one more time. Maybe I can do that in the background while we're on today's broadcast. And he said, since energy is all around us and can be neither created or destroyed, the concept, though small in scale, may work, but won't power the world as of yet. Thank you, Nguvu. I really appreciate you being in this conversation today. I feel not so alone now that I have someone else who's out here researching physics, advanced physics, quantum physics even, and who understands that we can take responsibility for moving this area away from science fiction to functional scientific reality. And yes, you're right. Energy is all around us just by the radiation of our sun. Our sun is the energy source for this solar system. And he writes, thorium-based nuclear power. That's why I remember reading about it. Thorium-based nuclear power generation fueled primarily by the nuclear fission of an isotope uranium-233 produced from the fertile element thorium. A thorium fuel cycle can offer several potential advantages over a uranium fuel cycle, including the greater abundance of thorium found on Earth, superior physical and nuclear fuel properties, and reduced nuclear waste production. One advantage of thorium fuel is its low weaponization potential. That's exactly what I was reading. It might have been you, Nguvu, who prompted me to look at this thorium. And there's a few other areas around this that might make it into the book. But I think I will do the best I can to weave this into the book. In fact, let me just copy that you prompted me to look up thorium. And, ooh, there's a bunch of information here. What I am going to do is just go right into this and let us continue here. We are live and direct. The time right now, 9:17 a.m. on the West Coast. That's 12:17 p.m. for our East Coast listeners, live and direct here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. Couple of points here. I just want to copy, cut, and paste this text, and we then can move forward. Okay, so let's get this party started. Here's what I've been writing on so far today. The chapter entitled 0 Point Energy, the search for free energy. And I began each chapter with this quote. This quote comes to us from Robert Andrews Millikan from the book Evolution in Science and Religion from 1927. Here's what he wrote. Ignorance of the principle of conservation of energy does not prevent inventors without background from continually putting forward perpetual motion machines. Also, such persons undoubtedly have their exact counterparts in the fields of art, finance, education, and all other departments of human activity. Persons who are unwilling to take the time and to make the effort required to find what the known facts are before they become the champions of unsupported opinions. People who take sides first and look up facts afterward, when the tendency to distort the facts to conform to the opinions has become well nigh irresistible. That's from Robert Andrews Millikan from Evolution in Science and Religion. In an earlier chapter of this book, I talked about modern day scientific frauds, and I did take the case of Maxwell Chikumbutsu. I did take that case up in that chapter, so we've already covered that. Despite many claims, please remain skeptical. There's a first subtitle. Despite many claims, please remain skeptical. Now, one more thing here real quickly. Let me just make sure that everybody in my listening audience has a chance to get acknowledged. And so I have the YouTube. We're broadcasting live on YouTube. We are broadcasting live on YouNow.com. And I do see Z to the E is in the house. Great to have you with us here, brother. And let us continue. And actually, I can just pause that so I can serve bandwidth. Despite many claims, please remain skeptical. 0-point energy, ZPE, is a concept rooted in quantum mechanics, referring to the lowest possible energy that a quantum system can possess, even at absolute zero temperature. This phenomena, ZPE, arises from the principles of quantum uncertainty, which dictate that particles cannot be completely at rest. While 0-point energy is a legitimate scientific concept, the idea of harnessing it for practical energy generation has led to numerous claims that many in the scientific community consider to be unfounded or misleading. The notion of 0-point energy gained popularity in various fringe theories and alternative energy discussions, often portrayed as a potential source of limitless free energy. Proponents of these ideas suggest, excuse me one second, sorry about that, I had to wet the whistle. Here we go. Let me back up and reread this paragraph. The notion of 0-point energy gained popularity in various fringe theories and alternative energy discussions, often portrayed as a potential source of limitless free energy. Proponents of these ideas suggest that if we could tap into 0-point energy, ZPE, we could create devices that produce energy without any input, effectively violating the laws of thermodynamics. This notion is appealing as it promises a solution to the world's energy crisis without the environmental consequences associated with fossil fuels or the limitations of renewable energy sources. However, the scientific consensus is that while 0-point energy exists, the practical extraction of this energy is fraught with challenges and is currently beyond our technological capabilities. The energy associated with 0-point fluctuations is incredibly small and distributed across vast scales. To harness it meaningfully would require technology and understanding that we do not yet possess. Moreover, any claims of devices that can extract usable energy from 0-point energy often lack scientific validation and reproducibility. Many of the claims surrounding 0-point energy are reminiscent of perpetual motion machines, devices that supposedly operate indefinitely without an energy source. According to the first and second laws of thermodynamics, such machines are impossible, which state that energy cannot be created or destroyed, and that systems tend toward increased entropy. The allure of 0-point energy as a free energy source often leads to a misunderstanding of these fundamental physics principles. Additionally, promoting zero-point energy as a viable energy source can divert attention and resources from legitimate research into renewable energy technologies. While the quest for new energy sources is crucial, focusing on unproven concepts can hinder progress in more practical and achievable areas such as solar, wind, and nuclear energy. In the realm of scientific inquiry, skepticism is essential. Let me repeat that sentence. In the realm of scientific inquiry, skepticism is essential. Claims about zero-point energy should be approached with caution, and extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. The lack of empirical support for practical applications of zero-point energy raises significant doubts about its feasibility as an energy source. In conclusion, while zero-point energy is a fascinating aspect of quantum mechanics, harnessing it for practical energy generation is largely viewed as a scam, or at the very least, a misinterpretation of scientific principles. The scientific community continues to explore the implications of quantum mechanics, but the pursuit of free energy from zero-point fluctuations remains speculative and unsupported by credible evidence. As we seek sustainable energy solutions, it is vital to focus on technologies that are grounded in established science and have the potential for real-world application. So, that is the introduction to this chapter. In my mind, I'm already hearing this debate happening in the community, and unfortunately, and it's very unfortunate, so much of what is called science or science debate is taking place on YouTube. While YouTube took a very harsh position against myself, against me, regarding the ideas related to the pandemic, and nonetheless, debates on goofy stuff like perpetual motion machines and zero-point energy and free energy from nowhere with no inputs, all of that stuff passes their sniff test. So let me get off of that topic, because quite simply, that's the region where I get banned, and I think you all know what I'm talking about. Let's go forward. Here we go. Continuing, what zero-point energy is and why it won't work. Zero-point energy is a fundamental concept in quantum mechanics, representing the lowest possible energy that a quantum mechanical physical system can possess, even at absolute zero temperature. Now, this was the same paragraph that I used a little bit earlier, so let me highlight this, come back and clean this up. This energy, and what happened was I did the same inquiry from multiple AI search machines, and they will find the exact same thing and repeat it. So that's what that problem is. This energy results from the inherent quantum fluctuations that occur in the vacuum of space, which is not truly empty, but filled with a dynamic energy field. This vacuum of space dynamic energy field is known as dark energy. We have dark energy, dark matter. And let me just put that in parentheses because this is very important. What we know as, quote, dark energy. Okay, continuing. This energy, dark energy, results from the inherent quantum fluctuations that occur in the vacuum of space, which is not truly empty, but filled with a dynamic energy field. The concept was first proposed by Albert Einstein and Otto Stern in 1913, and it is a cornerstone of quantum field theory, which is synonymous with vacuum energy. The energy is associated with the ground state of a system and is often illustrated through the quantum harmonic oscillator model, where the energy is driven by E. This is the equation. You remember the equation E equals mc squared. We're not going to go into that, not right now. But driven by the equation is given by E equals h bar omega divided by 2, where h bar is the reduced Planck's constant, and omega is, of course, a Greek letter, is the angular frequency of the oscillator. Now, I'm going to repeat the sentence straight through. The energy is associated with the ground state of a system and is often illustrated through the quantum harmonic oscillator model, where the energy is given by E equals h bar omega divided by 2, where h is the reduced Planck's constant and omega is the angular frequency of the oscillator. In springs, I wrote, in springs or any one-dimensional oscillator, the angular frequency is just describing a rate of angle change in the associated circle on which it's projected. And I had a reference to that particular citation from Inquiry. When the oscillator is a system with an angle, can we define the angular frequency to be the radius per unit time covered by the system itself? That from Stack Exchange Physics 2024. So going forward, in quantum physics, h bar omega represents the energy of a photon or a quantum of oscillation for a system characterized by an angular frequency omega. Here, h bar is the reduced Planck constant, defined as h bar equals h bar squared pi. Now, let me see. Let me just do this. Real quickly, I have to format this to make this make sense, and I'm going to format this as a quotation paragraph. You don't need to know that, but I needed to know that for some clarity. So, the relationship is used in various quantum systems, including the quantized energy levels of a harmonic oscillator and the energy of photons in electromagnetic waves. For example, in the context of photons, the energy E of a photon is given by, and here's another one of these equations. I'm going to make this one a quote as well, so it stands out. Stiles quote. For example, in the context of photons, the energy E of a photon is given by E equals h bar omega, where omega is the angular frequency of the electromagnetic wave. This expression is fundamental in quantum mechanics as it relates the discrete energy levels of a system to its frequency. Despite the scientific acceptance of zero-point energy, physicists generally do not believe it is a viable concept for practical energy extraction for several reasons. Now, while I'm there right now, I do see, as I'm editing this book is going to be done really quickly. So I have to just kind of edit it in real time, modify that text. Okay, here we go. Done. Okay. Save real quick and going forward. Despite the scientific acceptance of zero-point energy, physicists generally do not believe it is a viable concept for practical energy extraction for several reasons. Firstly, the energy density of the vacuum is immense, but spread out over vast volumes, making it extremely difficult to harness in a meaningful way. Secondly, and let me just give you an example of that. We talked earlier about dark energy, dark matter. That is, the vacuum of space is technically not empty. We know it's technically not empty because waves move through it. And waves are functional because of the presence of some resistance. So therefore, what we're saying here is that whatever is there in the vacuum of space, at our present knowledge of physics, we cannot capture that. Probably, I'm advancing the idea that probably over the course of the next century or so, as we see the continuation of quantum science, quantum computing, quantum understanding of physics, we will find a way to tap that. And once humanity taps that, it will be a breakthrough in the advance of the industrialization and the management of the mechanics of energy and life itself. It probably will be the greatest breakthrough in the history of the planet Earth, because it will give us a means and a mechanism now of intergalactic exploration. So that's pretty heavy stuff. Going forward, secondly, the Casimir effect, which often cited as evidence for zero-point energy, demonstrates the existence of this energy, but it does not provide a practical method for its extraction. Additionally, attempts to build devices that can tap into zero-point energy have constantly failed to produce credible results upon third-party inspection. Bear with me. A couple of things I want to do. First, the scientific zero-point. Okay. Got it. All right. Now, let me repeat. Secondly, the Casimir effect, which is often cited as evidence for zero-point energy, demonstrates the existence of this energy, but does not provide a practical method for its extraction. Additionally, attempts to build devices that can tap into zero-point energy have consistently failed to produce credible results upon third-party inspection. The scientific community often dismisses these devices as pseudoscience, as they violate fundamental laws of thermodynamics, such as energy conservation and the impossibility of perpetual motion machines. Lastly, the theoretical and practical challenges associated with manipulating the quantum vacuum remain significant hurdles that have not yet been overcome. And that's a very important point here. I'm not saying that it won't be overcome. Could very well likely be. I'm just going to bold that statement and then put in this comment which says emphasis added. Okay. Going forward, zero-point energy, ZPE, is the lowest possible energy a quantum mechanical system may have, unlike classical systems where the lowest energy state is zero. Even at absolute zero temperature, quantum systems exhibit inherent fluctuations due to the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. This underlying energy persists in the vacuum of space, a concept arising from quantum field theory. The Heisenberg uncertainty principle is a fundamental concept in quantum mechanics formulated by physicist Werner Heisenberg in 1927. It states that it is impossible to simultaneously determine a particle's exact position and momentum with absolute precision. This principle can be mathematically expressed as, and bear with me here as it gets a little technical, this will be in the book so that you can look these things up. The principle is, see if I can get this right. Delta X times delta P is greater than or equal to h bar divided by 2. I'll repeat. Delta X times delta P is equal to or greater than h bar divided by 2, whereas delta X is the uncertainty in position, delta P is the uncertainty in momentum, and h bar is the reduced Planck constant. The principle reflects the inherent limitations of measurement in the quantum realm, emphasizing that at very small scales, such as those of atoms and subatomic particles, measuring one quantity precisely inevitably disturbs the other. This is not due to limitations in measurement technology, but rather a fundamental property of quantum systems. That's deep. I followed it in my brain. I'm not going to take the time to explain that unless you request what did that mean, and I will do my best to explain it. Let me just take a moment here. And just see if anybody in my listening audience is joining the conversation. We do see a number of people checked in. It's not a large class. Quantum physics is not necessarily something that gets a whole lot of people excited. You can tell I'm excited because of my face. It's just beaming energy here. And we're going to keep going. This is the kind of stuff I want to take to Africa. I want to put this on the top college campuses on the continent, such as Makerere University in Kampala, Uganda. And I want to sit in front of the most advanced physics students of these schools and hash this stuff into our brains, come back week after week and discover it until we find breakthroughs. There are breakthroughs here to be found, people. And don't think that Africans can't find it. If Indians and Chinese and Europeans are finding it and exploring it, then we are capable as well. Let's recall where the dawn of human civilization and the breakthroughs in advanced mathematics came from: the Nile Valley. Ethiopians can understand this. Kenyans, Ugandans, Ghanaians, Nigerians, South Africans, Rwandans. It's our time to claim the future, people. It's our challenge to claim the future by mastering the present, which means we have mastered the understanding of the past. Going forward, anybody talking to me, I getting no comments from my listening audience, but I know you out there. I know you got nothing but love for your brother, so let's keep this party going. Back to the text. In essence, the Heisenberg uncertainty principle highlights the intrinsic probabilistic nature of quantum mechanics, where particles do not have definite positions and momentum until they are observed. Momentum, it says momenta, and I copy, cut, and pasted exactly, so I have to go back and look up that word momenta. And I think momenta is the plural of momentum, but I could be wrong. Several reasons explain why physicists are skeptical about zero point energy as a viable concept for generating free energy. A brief list. 1. Conservation laws. The principle of energy conservation is fundamental in physics. Extracting usable energy from that vacuum would violate these conservation laws, which haven't been observed in nature. Point 2. The second law of thermodynamics. This law states that energy spontaneously spreads from higher to lower concentration regions. Extracting zero point energy would imply creating order from a highly distorted state, contradicting this principle. Point 3. Lack of empirical evidence. Despite theoretical predictions, no experiment has conclusively demonstrated the ability to harness zero point energy for practical energy use. Point 4. Quantum limitations. The highly stochastic nature of quantum fluctuations makes it extremely challenging to convert them into a coherent, usable energy. Let me repeat this. The highly stochastic nature of quantum fluctuations makes it extremely challenging to convert them into a coherent, usable energy. There's a word there with which I am unfamiliar. And just that quickly, what is defined stochastic? Please. And defined stochastic is the property of being well described by a random probability distribution. Stochasticity and randomness are technically distinct concepts. The former refers to a modeling approach, while the latter describes phenomena. In everyday conversation, however, these terms are often used interchangeably. In probability theory, the formal concept of a stochastic process is often referred to as a random process. Now, that's pretty interesting. Let me just quickly kind of insert this into the text that I'm writing. Bear with me. Paste without formatting. And I'm going to put in brackets that this did come from Wikipedia. And secondly, stochastic, as described by the American Heritage Dictionary, 5th edition. I'm going to copy and cut and paste that in here as well. Paste, no formatting. And here's what it has to say. Stochastic, adjective, of, relating to, or characterized by conjecture, conjectural. Also involving or containing a random variable or process, such as stochastic calculus, a stochastic simulation. Also conjectural or able to conjecture. So that's 3 different definitions of stochastic. And I have to format this so it makes sense. And similar is conjectural. So stochastic means conjectural, essentially. Bear with me as I format it and make it make sense. And make sense for the book publication. So real quickly, there we go. Got it. Stochastic, conjectural. So going back to the text, reading that in context, now that you understand what stochastic means, we're talking about quantum limitations. The highly stochastical or conjectural nature of quantum fluctuations makes it extremely challenging to convert them into a coherent, usable energy. And I now can put in next to stochastic, in parentheses, conjectural, which most of us know what conjectural means. It's dealing with ideas, hypotheses, etc. Going forward, technical hurdles. Even if theoretically possible, current technology cannot harness or control zero-point energy efficiently. So there we go. Real quickly. The American, oh, I did that. And I have this reference. Let me just put this in brackets and leave it in the paragraph rather than create a footnote out of it. So those of you, I teach a writing class. Tomorrow is my writing class. This is the kind of stuff I teach in the writing class, how to do database research or scientific research. So lastly, I don't need to repeat that. I read that earlier. Since the dawn of human civilization. And let me give this a subtitle, Perpetual Search for Perpetual Motion Machines. And that would be subtitle of a chapter. Perpetual Search for Perpetual Motion Machines. Since the dawn of human invention, there has been a search for a free energy source, the proverbial perpetual motion machine. Certain fundamental laws of thermodynamics preclude such a development, and principles such as friction will always block such a development. And that's mechanical principles, such as friction, because friction is mechanical, and friction always throws off ideas of perpetual motion. If there's any friction at all, then it doesn't work. So certain fundamental laws of thermodynamics preclude such a development, and mechanical principles such as friction will always block such a development. Still, with every generation, some claim to have made such a breakthrough. We need to understand the physics principles that make free energy, zero-point energy, and perpetual motion machines impossible with our current understanding of physics. While fascinating, the concept of zero-point energy remains speculative for practical energy generation. If humankind can transcend this quantum boundary in the future, it will signal a complete breakthrough in our understanding and utilization of universal laws of energy and nature. This will represent one of the greatest breakthroughs in quantum advancement that science fiction writers have imagined since time immemorial. So that completes that particular chapter. And again, that chapter entitled Zero-Point Energy, the Search for Free Energy. Now, let me see how much time I have, because I can go ahead and continue. Yeah, this is 50 minutes in. That's kind of long for most people to listen to a broadcast, especially one at this level of science. But I'm kind of make a presumption that other than Nguvu, I don't really have much of an audience for today's conversation. I do see numbers there. No one person other than myself has hit the like button. I just hit the like button, so there are 2 likes. That's on Rumble. 10 people in the audience, which is a big enough classroom. On YouTube, or not YouTube, on YouTube, I can't see that I have any audience at all. It looks like just me by myself, myself, and I. No likes, nobody commenting. So we're just going to go forward. I'm going to include another chapter to the book, Quantum Advancement, while I'm on it, because this, as you are witnessing right now, I am getting the book written in real time this week. Could very well likely be by next week, I may have 2 new books, including this one, going to the printer. I'm really at a pace right now, which is why you understand I am not shying away from the language of physics, of quantum theory. I am not shying away from game theory competing for the planet. I am not afraid of my own potential. I am not afraid of the most powerful organizations on the planet. I'm not afraid of death. Today is the assassination anniversary of Ohaz Malik al-Shabazz. He was not afraid. He told us to be bold, be fearless, be transforming, be transcendent. King Pianki, if you're listening to this, I know you know what Malcolm X was here to teach us all about how we should behave as we seek to set this planet back right side up. In Guvu, and everyone else who's out there listening, you may be silent, but you are critically important. Do not be afraid. Be fearless. Be a champion of truth and justice, and let's just keep moving forward. I'm going to keep moving forward right now. The next chapter of this book is entitled Quantum Technology and Societal Development. Now, I don't know, or I can't tell right now how much. Okay, I have been writing on this, so I've got a good bit of this chapter already written, already done. So good for me, good for us. Real quickly, I'm just going to move this into place, make it a little bit easier to read. Real quickly, clear the buffer so it doesn't crash. I began each chapter of the book, Quantum Advancement, with a quote. For this chapter, Quantum Technology and Societal Development, I quote from Dr. Calestous Juma, one of my jegnas, one of my great heroes in life. He's now in the realm of the ancestors. He wrote, and I quote, "Science, technology, and innovation provide the foundations for social and economic transformation in the modern world. Countries that have succeeded in mobilizing science for development have demonstrated an ability to compete effectively in the global economy. They have also been able to significantly enhance the quality of life of their populations." That from Dr. Calestous Juma, and that excerpt was taken from a paper he wrote, Science, Technology, and Development in Africa, Pathways to Accelerated Growth 2010. I began with the subchapter, The Fifth Industrial Revolution, 5IR. The following insightful essay from Saudi technology expert Abdullah S. Alessa helps us put this quantum advancement into the context of advancing industrial revolution. Real quickly, one quick style. He wrote in 2021, for decades, the technology is shaping from the first mechanization and steam power to the second industrial revolution, mass production and assembly line, evolving to the third IR, automation and electronics, reaching the 21st century, fourth IR in digitization. So what is the next big thing? Are we ready for the new technologies that the next revolution brings? The future technologies are taking shape, and enterprises are preparing for the fifth IR, personalization, where man and machine cooperate on the earth. And do see it was a typo there. Let me say the future technologies are taking shape and enterprises are preparing for the fifth IR, personalization, where man and machine cooperate on the earth. Are we ready for such mass customization and personalization for customers and putting human intelligence back in industrial production and robots in front? One particular technology that will help us achieve such a revolution balance is quantum computing. This technology touches base on many applications like optimization, simulation, sampling, artificial intelligence, advanced machine learning, and more. A note on that, citation on that quote is from Quantum Computing, the Fifth Industrial Revolution, 5IR, Are We Ready? By Abdullah S. Alessa from Saudi Arabia, writing in the International Journal of Computer Science and Info Technology Res. I'm trying to remember what I did abbreviate this. Volume 9, issue number 3, pages 1 through 3, July, September 2021. So that's a very precise reference that I have for that. And going forward, the next section called Quantum Foundations and Exponential Breakthrough. Now, there was a bit of explanation after that previous paragraph that I see is missing. So I can see the limitations on what I've written so far on this next chapter. And in commenting on this citation, I wanted to emphasize the logical progression of each era of industrialization that humanity is undergoing through the current 4IR to 5IR, which includes AI, etc., to the next logical step, facilitated by the technologies of 4IR and 5IR. So that gives me kind of an entry into the paragraph to follow that. So on that note, facilitate. Here it is. Going forward, I next talk about quantum foundations and an exponential breakthrough. The rapid advancement toward quantum processes promises to revolutionize various aspects of technology and societal development. Quantum computing stands out as a paradigm shift that exponentially boosts processing power and problem-solving capabilities. Unlike classical computers that use bits, zeros, and ones, quantum computers leverage complex two-level qubits, quantum bits, enabling them to perform multiple calculations simultaneously and tackle problems deemed unsolvable by traditional methods. This breakthrough can potentially impact cryptography, material science, pharmaceuticals, artificial intelligence, and more. In energy, quantum mechanics could lead to unprecedented efficiency and sustainability. Quantum sensors might provide ultra-precise measurements, optimizing energy consumption and reducing waste. Quantum-based materials let me get this right. Quantum-based materials could revolutionize batteries and energy storage systems, ushering in a new era of renewable energy solutions. Quantum mechanics continues to unravel the mysteries of the universe, deepening our understanding of the fundamental principles governing matter and energy. These insights will drive innovation across various industries, including communications technologies, space exploration, and healthcare. If we consider the broader historical context, these advancements can indeed be seen as heralding a fifth industrial revolution. Perhaps industrial revolutions transformed society. Previous industrial revolutions transformed society through mechanization, electrification, digitalization, and automation. Now, quantum technologies promise to redefine the boundaries of what is possible, blending the digital and physical realms in previously unimaginable ways. And let me double check. Is this a new chapter or is this a subchapter? Let me go back. I need to view my navigation window, navigation pane, and quantum technologies and societal development. Okay, we're still in the same chapter. Key principles surrounding quantum advancement. To fully grasp what this shift in humanity's scientific mastery entails, we will each be forced to challenge our minds to reason far beyond the limitations and constrictions of the education we have received in the public school systems. Toward this innovative mastery, I submit the following 15 keys to opening up our mental processes to understand this new physics landscape. The following will test your comprehension of linguistics, mathematics, and physics. It would be best to read through this list multiple times. I trust that you, like me, will be grateful that you try to understand these advanced principles of quantum reality. So people, get ready. Get your brain cocked and ready. Let me sip a little water and make sure there's sufficient lubricant inside my bloodstream to get this energy into my brain. Here we go. This lists the following 15 keys to opening up our mental processes to understand this new physics landscape. Number 1, superposition. A qubit's ability to exist in superposition allows it to process many possibilities simultaneously, making quantum computers much faster than classical computers for certain types of calculations. Superposition is a critical component of quantum computing, and superposition is a critical component of quantum computing and information processing, enabling quantum computers to perform complex calculations beyond the capabilities of classical computers. Now that's was a bit redundant from previous, and I can tell what happens. I'm mixing together findings from different AI searches. So I'll correct that later. But you're hearing this kind of raw. The concept of superposition is central to the power and potential of quantum computing, offering new avenues for solving complex problems in fields like cryptography, optimization, and simulation. This unique property of qubits makes quantum computing so promising for advancing various fields of science and technology. Number 2, entanglement. Entanglement is a quantum phenomenon where particles become interconnected, allowing their states to be correlated regardless of distance. When something happens to one particle, it instantly affects the other, even if vast distances separate them. This instantaneous connection enables quantum communication and computing, as entangled particles can encode and decode information securely and faster than classical methods. Entanglement is a fundamental aspect of quantum mechanics, demonstrating the interconnected nature of particles at the quantum level. It has potential applications in secure communications and quantum computing. Point 3, quantum algorithms. Quantum algorithms are specialized algorithms designed to leverage the unique capabilities of quantum computers. They exploit quantum phenomena like superposition, entanglement, and interference to solve complex problems exponentially faster than classical algorithms. Examples include Shor's algorithm for factorization, Grover's algorithm for search, and quantum simulations for optimizing complex systems. These algorithms can potentially revolutionize cryptography, optimization, and materials science, enabling breakthroughs in secure communication, artificial intelligence, and discovering new materials. They are key to unlocking the full potential of quantum computing and driving innovation in various industries. Now, there were several points that were made there, and I wanted to just highlight those. 1, Shor's algorithm for factorization. Number 2, Grover's algorithm for search. And number 3, quantum simulations for optimizing complex systems. So, there we go. Number 4 of our 15 keys, quantum cryptography. Quantum cryptography uses quantum mechanics to secure communication through virtually unbreakable encryption. Quantum key distribution, QKD, is a method that enables two parties to share a secret key encoded on quantum particles that can detect any attempt at eavesdropping. If an unauthorized party tries to measure the quantum state, it introduces errors, alerting the legitimate parties to the breach. This ensures the key's secrecy and authenticity, providing enhanced security for sensitive data transmission. Quantum cryptography offers theoretically unbreakable encryption, making it ideal for high-stakes applications like financial transactions, military communications, and sensitive data protection. Ooh, boy, my imagination just went free during the course of that, of practical application for this. We're talking about the African Continental Free Trade Organization and how, or Free Trade Area, AFCFTA, and how this is a major breakthrough as the world's largest free trade area ever created. And with this AFCFTA, it will require and demand the creation of a complex blockchain system for monitoring all of these quantities of these products, these goods and services, and their transmission routes and particular transactions. Huge amount of data. That's existing technology. That's blockchain, which also facilitates cryptocurrencies. But now, as we understand what is going on now with this quantum hovering just over the horizon, as we would add quantum advancement, quantum cryptography to the blockchain required for the functionality of AFCFTA and the functionality of modern day and future governance, then we have no choice. Otherwise, Those that perfect these technologies will generate another 200, 500 years, maybe 20 years of enslavement over the rest of us, because they will be able to manipulate us by knowing everything that we do and can just disrupt and interrupt. We won't even be able to launch central bank digital currencies if others develop this facility in the background of America, Britain, European Union, China, France, Russia, developing this quantum cryptography process in the background. And no matter what we do, they will always interrupt us and intercept us. Please, 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 people, don't ignore this book. Don't ignore this research that I am doing right now. I knew the research was going to be heavy, but the more I get into the quantum advancement, the more I realize just how far ahead of the pack I've been able to get, and why it is so important that at least our leadership catch up. We need to train our children in all of these fields I'm describing right now. We're talking about 15 keys. We got through number 4, number 5, quantum supremacy. Exactly what I'm talking about. I have this tendency, I've been through this before because it's already formatted and in the book. I have this tendency to get an idea and it radically opens up the door to the next idea, and I go to explain why that point was so important, and then I go to my list, and that was literally the next thing I was about to talk about: quantum supremacy. And quantum supremacy has nothing at all to do with white supremacy. We need to stop talking about white supremacy and start talking about quantum supremacy. Trust me on this. You have to trust me. Quantum supremacy refers to the point at which a quantum computer can perform a specific task that is impossible or prohibitively difficult for a classical computer to achieve. This milestone demonstrates the power of quantum computing and its potential to solve complex problems in fields like chemistry, materials science, and optimization. Achieving quantum supremacy requires a quantum computer to execute a complex calculation, such as simulating a quantum system or performing a random quantum circuit, that surpasses the capabilities of the world's most powerful classical computers, marking a significant breakthrough in quantum computing. Number 6, quantum sensors. Quantum sensors are highly sensitive measuring devices that utilize quantum mechanics to detect and measure physical parameters such as magnetic fields, temperature, and pressure. They exploit quantum phenomena like entanglement and superposition to achieve unprecedented precision and sensitivity. Quantum sensors have various applications, including navigation, materials science, and biomedical research. They can detect minute changes in their environment, enabling precise measurements and new discoveries. With their enhanced sensitivity, quantum sensors have the potential to revolutionize fields like geophysics, materials engineering, and medical imaging, leading to breakthroughs in research and innovation. And I would say research, innovation, and development. Again, reading that sentence. With their enhanced sensitivity, quantum sensors have the potential to revolutionize fields like geophysics, materials engineering, and medical imaging, leading to breakthroughs in research, innovation, and development. They offer improved accuracy and resolution. Quantum materials, number 7. Quantum materials are substances that exhibit unique properties driven by quantum mechanics, such as superconductivity, superfluidity, and magnetism. These materials have electronic or magnetic properties that classical physics cannot explain. And quantum phenomena like entanglement and wave-particle duality influence their behavior. Quantum materials have potential energy, electronics, and medicine applications, enabling innovations like high-temperature superconductors, ultra-efficient solar cells, and advanced magnetic storage devices. And that magnetic storage device reminds us of reminiscent of King T'Challa's Black Panther suit. SUIT, which could capture, store, and redirect kinetic energy. Very important point. Let me get that in context. We're talking about quantum materials have potential energy, electronics, and medicine applications, enabling innovations like high-temperature superconductors, ultra-efficient solar cells, and advanced magnetic storage devices reminiscent of King T'Challa's Black Panther suit, which could capture, store, and redirect kinetic energy. Researchers are exploring these materials to unlock new technologies and discoveries, pushing the boundaries of what is possible in the quantum world. They offer unprecedented properties and opportunities. True that. Number 8 of 15, quantum communication. Quantum communication enables secure and instantaneous data transmission across vast distances. It utilizes quantum entanglement to encode and decode messages, ensuring that any attempt to eavesdrop introduces errors. Making it detectable. This method, known as quantum key distribution, allows for secure communications over long distances, such as between cities or continents. Quantum communication can revolutionize secure data transmission, particularly in finance, government, and defense, where sensitive information requires protection. It provides a virtually unbreakable means of communication, safeguarding against cyber threats and data breaches. Secure data transmission is guaranteed. Number 9, decoherence. Decoherence is the loss of quantum coherence due to environmental interactions, causing a quantum system to lose its unique properties. It occurs when a quantum system is disrupted by external factors like noise, temperature, or radiation, leading to a loss of superposition and entanglement. Decoherence is a major challenge in quantum computing and information processing, as it can cause errors and instability in quantum systems. Mitigating decoherence is crucial to maintaining the fragile quantum states required for quantum computing, simulation, and other quantum technologies, and researchers are developing strategies to minimize its effects. Again, decoherence. Number 10, quantum simulations. Quantum simulations use quantum computers to model complex systems that are intractable or impractical for classical computers. By leveraging quantum mechanics, simulations can accurately replicate the behavior of molecules, materials, and other complex systems. This enables researchers to study phenomena like chemical reactions, material properties, and quantum many body systems, leading to breakthroughs in chemistry, materials science, and pharmacology. And let me just highlight this because I read something there I didn't understand when it said quantum many body systems. I've never seen this term many body hyphenated like that. I'll figure it out. Quantum simulations have the potential to accelerate discovery and innovation, allowing for the design of new materials, optimization of chemical processes, and development of new machines, revolutionizing various industries and advancing our understanding of the quantum world. Number 11, quantum error correction. Quantum error correction refers to the methods used to mitigate errors that occur during quantum computations. Due to the fragile nature of quantum states, errors can arise from decoherence, noise, and other environmental factors. Quantum error correction techniques such as quantum codes and error correction algorithms help detect and correct these errors, ensuring the integrity of quantum computations. This is crucial for large-scale quantum computing, as mistakes can quickly accumulate and destroy the fragile quantum states required for computation. Effective quantum error correction enables reliable and accurate quantum computing, paving the way for practical applications. It ensures accuracy and reminding that we're doing this work in what are called qubits, not zeros and ones, but qubits are a complex of zeros and ones. I read that earlier description, and I'll have to return to that a few more times so the idea is clear in my head. Number 12, quantum networking. And let me double check. Do we have an audience today? Is anybody checking this out? Anybody listening? Who's in the house today? Nobody talking to me. My audience did shrink. It's getting a little technical. I understand that. That's okay. I'm going to push forward, push straight right through it, and hopefully bring as many of you along with me as possible. I do see my audience on YouTube is growing, although no one is speaking to me there. I know you got love for it, brother, because I got love for you. Quantum networking refers to connecting multiple quantum computers to enable distributed processing and sharing of quantum resources. This allows for assembling a quantum internet where quantum information can be securely transmitted and processed across a network. Quantum networking enables the coordination of multiple quantum computers to solve complex problems, exceeding the capabilities of individual machines. It also facilitates the sharing of quantum resources such as entangled particles to enhance the security and efficiency of quantum communications. Quantum networking can revolutionize fields like cryptography, optimization, and simulation by enabling collaborative quantum computing. Number 13, quantum annealing. Quantum annealing is a quantum computing technique for solving complex optimizational problems. It leverages quantum tunneling and superposition to efficiently reach for the optimal solution in an exponentially large solution space. Encoding the problem into a quantum circuit allows quantum annealing to explore multiple solutions simultaneously, finding the global minimum or maximum. This approach has applications in fields like logistics, finance, and energy management, where optimization problems are prevalent. Quantum annealing can provide faster and more accurate solutions than classical methods, making it a promising tool for tackling real-world optimization challenges and improving decision-making processes. Number 14, quantum metrology. Quantum metrology is a field that utilizes quantum mechanics to enhance precision measurement techniques. It leverages quantum phenomena like entanglement and squeezing to improve the sensitivity and accuracy of measurements. Quantum metrology detects tiny changes in physical parameters such as magnetic fields, temperature, and pressure. This has applications in fields like navigation, spectroscopy, and interferometry, where precise measurements are crucial. Quantum metrology can also enhance the performance of sensors, allowing for more accurate and reliable data collection. It can potentially revolutionize various fields by providing unprecedented precision and sensitivity in measurement. And number 15 of the 15 keys, quantum workforce. The quantum workforce refers to professionals trained in quantum technologies, including quantum computing, quantum information science, and quantum engineering. As quantum technologies advance, there is a growing need for skilled workers who can develop, implement, and apply these technologies. A quantum workforce includes experts in fields like quantum software development, quantum algorithm design, and quantum hardware engineering. Training programs and educational initiatives are emerging to equip professionals with the necessary skills to work with quantum technologies, driving innovation and adoption across industries. A skilled quantum workforce is essential for unlocking the full potential of quantum technologies. If you are like me, reading through and achieving comprehension of these 15 principles lays the foundation for understanding quantum technology's transformational potential. What we are sharing herein signals a new scientific and societal evolution. Therefore, in my imagination, quantum advancement represents what we could regard as the world's fifth industrial revolution. And one might say the sixth. I'm going to highlight that paragraph and go back because I did mention about these different industrial revolution advances at the beginning of this chapter. But I think this quantum advancement, because the fourth includes AI and algorithms and things. So this fifth industrial revolution is an exponential leap forward, and that would be another industrial revolution. Or at a certain point, industrial might have to be taken out of these leaps. This is all going to be very interesting. That takes us through the end of this chapter. When we come back with the study of this book, the next time we'll come back with chapter entitled Pyramidology, the capstone of ancient electromagnetism. And a couple of quotes that open this chapter. First quote from Gene Roddenberry, creator of the Star Trek TV series and movie series. He created the concept of Star Trek. He wrote, ancient astronauts didn't build the pyramids. Human beings built the pyramids because they're clever and they work hard. Gene Roddenberry. And the second quote from Dr. John Henrik Clarke. You look at the pyramids. They're not one fraction of an inch off in terms of their alignment. They were built without a bonding agent. Dr. John Henrik Clarke. So that's where we're going to pick it up. Other chapters coming up, the Wakanda Vision. And, well, I'm getting to the point where this book is going to be wrapping up. Now, under the Wakanda Vision, it's going to be very extensive chapter. I know I wrote a paper on the 57 different ideas that came out of the Black Panther movie. And I'm going to incorporate that into this chapter on quantum advancement because they are parallel visions. And if I do it right, we will now be inspired way beyond the limitations of what we had previously understood about quantum sciences and quantum advancement. Right now, the book is up to almost it's up to 60 pages right now. And this is not going to be a huge book because I'm using AI to compose the book to a great extent. And the idea is it's really a brain exercise. I get excited when I do this, but it also is very stressful. As you can tell, my body gets all engaged in the conversation and everything, gets a little bit stressful. But this is where we're at right now. My brain is being challenged to a point where probably less than 1% of the population is engaging in the mental exercises that I am currently on. Finishing 2 books simultaneously within the next couple of weeks is going to be a little bit of a challenge. I'm almost finished with The African Future. I pushed another book on the table, and I'll learn more about the practicality of that book here very shortly, called Growing Nigeria, which is an agricultural development program for Nigeria, developed for a private think tank. But we're doing good. I want to encourage you, my listening audience, to participate with your brother. Help your brother out. I really do need your help. One second. Because when I talk intensely like that, stuff tends to want to come out of the middle of my face. And just real quickly, I just want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank those of you who've been supporting. So many of you have done so much to help your brother out over these years, for which I am eternally grateful. I am, because we are. And we are truly a great people. We are a noble people. We are worthy of building for eternity. I want to thank you all for your support of buying the books. Let me just show you what's been done in the last few months. An older book that's in this collection of mine that I did pull up in the 2 current books I'm writing, one entitled The African Future and the other one entitled Quantum Advancement. This book, Futurenomics, Positioning Your Enterprise to Win in the New Global Economy, very important. But since December, I have been busy. Oh, the last book of 2023 was very important and highly relevant to what we talked about today and about this new technological breakthrough of the 4th industrial revolution, et cetera, et cetera. We are not passive. We're not going to sit by and let the 4th industrial revolution give everything to these corporations and these billionaire class. No, we are not passive. We have responses to Klaus Schwab's The Global Reset. We have responses to the manipulation going on by which the National Security Agency is taking over social media platforms. We're not passive. So this book, Forged by Fire, post African healthcare and sovereign development. We are not passive people. We have practical solutions. We are engaged. By we, I mean I and you. Then 3 books come out from the beginning of December. I'm going to do my best to send that 4th book to the printer by next Friday. They are Living Superfood Solutions, Dietary Strategies to Prevent and Reverse Common Chronic Diseases, Living Superfood Solutions. Someone asked me about this book here in the last day or so, about they had someone very dear to them going into severe crisis. And I said, that's the book I just wrote. Why don't you get it? I hope you do. Disaster Preparedness for World Wars 5 and 6. This is going on right now and it's getting crazier every day, isn't it? Yes, it's true. We talk about the untold story of how the global economic and security order is shaping up for the 21st century. Disaster preparedness. And then another book, very proud, my most recent book to come out, The Stem Cell Revolution. A holistic approach to stem cell activation and regenerative therapy. The Stem Cell Revolution. So when you support your brother by buying books that I've written, you are not only investing in what should be one of the leading scholastic minds of our generation, a polymath, and an inheritor of the legacies of Imhotep, legacies of Albert Einstein, and legacies of Dr. John Henry Clark, Amos Wilson, and others upon whose shoulders I proudly stand. But you're also opening up the door for me to go ever deeper and to bring more of our young minds, fresh minds, along with me. People like Nguvu and a number of others who do maintain contact with me, sharing what they find with me, and also advancing our common knowledge, our collective knowledge and information. So on that note, I want to thank you all for tuning in today. You've been tuned into LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. What is this? Somebody sent me, here's your copy. I don't know what that is. I'll check that out a little bit later. I want to thank you for tuning in. It's Friday. Another very, very productive week. Tomorrow is going to be a real busy day. I have 2 classes I teach, over 4.5, about 5 hours worth of classroom teachings. Plus, I'm going to be doing my afternoon broadcast because I have to accelerate the rate of which my output is going on right now. And as much as I do, as much as I celebrate and keep expanding this output, there's still much further to go. So that's why you tune in to LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. Tell your friends to tell their friends. Make sure you hit the like button and let the algorithms know that you appreciate what it is that we teach, that you appreciate being a part of this family. Hit the like button. That's real easy to do, isn't it? But it does mean a lot in the long run. On your favorite, we aim to be your favorite. We are LIB Radio, LIB TV. We are livinginblack.com. So peace and prosperity to each and every one of you.